For this demo, we will be adding a practice location to a group's enrollment record. These steps would pertain to either a group or an individual record. For this demonstration, we'll be navigating to a group. Once you're on the provider management dashboard, you'll be able to either select from the MPIs that are within your dashboard. If you don't see the MPI, you can enter the MPI that you wish to update and click the search. Once the search results are returned, you'll be able to see your MPI API, and then you can click the ellipses and then view to open the enrollment record of that particular MPI. Once you're within that MPI, you'll see the Edit Enrollment Record option. And click Edit Enrollment Record. You'll see each of the maintenance options that are available for your particular MPI. You can view through the list and you can see each of the different options. You can either edit your practice location information, but in order to add a practice location, you'll click the existing enrollment option and then create request. Clicking the existing enrollment option will open up each of the pages of the MPI for that provider. You can edit any other information that has also changed within the request, such as provider information if there's any information that's missing or needs to be modified. If no changes need to be made, you can click Save and you'll see the blue check box appear for each section that you've reviewed and saved. Click through each page. Update any responses for any information that may not have been completed since the last time that you've completed a request. For demo purposes, we will be answering these questions as no, but if you have a yes response, additional information may be requested. If any attachments need to be added for any yes responses, you can do that at this point. Select the question that the attachment pertains to and then upload any files that you need to support your response. Once you've completed all the questions, you'll click Save. And you'll be able to use the left navigation to navigate to the next section. If there's already accounting billing information on file, you'll be able to click the ellipses and modify any information or confirm the information that's already present. If you have different accounting billing information for the location that you'll be adding, you can click Add Accounting Billing Information. For the demo purposes, we'll just be editing the one that's already on file. You can provide a contact related to your accounting billing information. This will be the contact that is associated to any billing questions that Team HB may need to reach out to as it relates to your practice location and accounting billing information. The address that's being requested will be the address that's associated with the accounting billing or W-9. Once you've entered the address, you can click the Verify Address button. If the address has been verified, you'll see on screen that it has been verified. If any changes need to be made to the address, you can click the check box to change the address to make any additional edits. Then you can enter in the contact phone number associated with that accounting billing address. Then you'll answer any additional questions. If there's a third-party biller, somebody not employed by your organization that is billing on behalf, you can select yes, otherwise select no and save. If any issues have been identified on the page, you'll see the red box at the top. So once the accounting billing information page has saved, then you'll navigate to the W-9. Information will be pre-populated. You can confirm that information or edit any information as necessary. Complete any missing fields. The address that's on this page is pre-populated from the accounting billing information page, so if any changes need to be made, you'll need to navigate back to that particular page to make those edits. Again, confirm the information that's already present. Once you've reviewed and certified your W-9, you can click I attest. This is what appears on my W-9, and complete any additional fields or missing information that was not previously captured as part of your enrollment record. Once you've completed all the fields, then you'll click Save. Once that's saved, you can navigate to the next section. For EFT, that's optional for electronic funds transfer. If you have information, you can continue reviewing and updating that information and clicking Save. For the demo purposes, I'll be selecting I do not wish to participate in the EFT program and save that selection. Once all sections have been completed for accounting billing information, you'll use the back arrow in the blue header in order to navigate back to the main left navigation menu. You'll continue through to the next section of the application. Complete any responses within the ownership and controlling interest section. If there are any yes responses, you may be required to provide additional details. For the purposes of the demo, we'll be selecting no. Once you've gotten to the owners, creditors, and principals section, you'll see any owners, creditors, or principals who are already affiliated with your NPI enrollment record. You can click the ellipses and then open to review the information that's been provided and make any changes as necessary. You can navigate through each of the left navigation options for the principal that has been selected, review each of their particular details. If the accounting billing address for that owner, creditor, or principal is the same as their physical address, you can click the same as physical address button, and you can click Save. Once all information has been saved on this page, you can continue navigating through the left navigation to the next section, complete and provide any relevant information or add any updates as necessary, save any changes, continue reviewing each of the sections that pertain to the owner, creditor, principal, make any edits, and save any changes. Once you've navigated to disclosures, these are all of the responses that pertain to the owner, creditor, principal that you're filling out the information for. Just like the other pages, if you have any yes responses, you may be required to provide additional details. We'll answer no for each of these for demo purposes. Once all sections have been completed for the owner, creditor, principal, you can use the back button in the blue header bar in order to return to the main navigation. We've returned back to the main ownership controlling interest section. Ensure that each of those yes/no responses were provided. If they did not save, it's good to make sure that you save throughout your request before navigating off the screen. For designation of authorized individuals, you can click to add authorized signatory. This is the person who's able to sign on behalf of an organization. From the drop-down menu, you select from any of the persons or individuals that have been added from the owners, creditors, principals section. So if the person you wish to add as an authorized signatory is not available, you'll need to close this and add them first to the previous section in order to select them from the drop menu. It'll pull over their position title that was previously provided, and then you'll add the email address. Then you'll save your changes. And then once that's been added, you'll save the page again. Once all of the sections within the ownership and controlling interest section have been completed, then you'll move on to programs. You'll be able to select yes or no for each of the programs that Texas Medicaid offers. For demo purposes, we'll only select acute care fee for service. Once you've made all of your edits, you can click Save. Now that programs has been completed, we'll continue to practice location within the left navigation. You'll be able to see each of the addresses that are already on file. At this point, you'll be able to add your practice location. You'll select the type of location, whether or not you're a group or if it's a facility at this location. This drop-down responses will be different if you're an individual provider. These are options for an organization. Once you've made your selection, then you'll click Add Practice. This will take you into each of the screens that pertain to that particular practice location that's being added. There are several options within the left navigation. You'll need to fill out each section as it pertains to the practice location. The location name is optional. You can name this location so that you can find it later within your list of practice locations. Enter in that address information and verify the address. Enter in any additional required fields on the page or any optional fields as it pertains to your situation, and then click Save. Then you'll be able to navigate to the next section. For program and services participation, we'll select to add a program and service participation. Then you'll be able to select your program. The options in this list are based off of the yes/no responses that we previously provided under programs. Once that program has been selected, you'll continue down filling each of the required fields on the page. So we'll go to Services Provided, select the primary taxonomy code, then we'll select the provider type. Once those have been selected, we'll continue navigating through the page, making each of the selections as it pertains to the practice location that's being added. For taxpayer identification number, we'll get a drop-down list. These are of the tax IDs that were previously entered in the accounting and billing information page. If the selection you want to make is not present, you'll need to navigate back to that page to make any edits in order to be able to make your selection on this page. Then we'll answer any additional questions as it pertains. Then we'll continue down to services provided and select the provider specialty, and if applicable, a subspecialty. Additionally, any secondary taxonomies. This has already been used for primary, so we won't need to select it for a secondary, so we can go ahead and leave that blank, and then we'll click Save. Once the page has been saved, you'll continue down to the next section within the practice location. Enter in any county served as applicable. You can type it in to do a search and make that selection. You can enter in multiple. Same thing with additional languages. You'll make your selections, continue through, add any office hours. If the office hours match throughout each of the days of the week, you can click Apply to All. And you can still make edits to any days as necessary. Any days your office is closed, you can click the Close button. Then, once you've made all relevant changes, you can click Save. Once that record's been saved, you can continue moving on to the next section within Practice Location. For managing employees, this is where you will select from the persons or individuals that were previously added in the Owners, Creditors, Principals section of the Ownership and Controlling Interest. You'll click Add Managing Employee Association. You can select your employee that's managing that particular practice location. Then you can select from their roles. These are also previously provided. If only one's provided, that'll be your only option. If that person does multiple roles, you'll need to select from the roles as it pertains to the practice location that's being added. The start date at the location pre-populates with the day that you're adding this practice location. You are able to change this date if necessary. End date is optional at this point. That will only be required later if you wish to edit that employee's relationship to the practice location. Once you've made all of your edits, then click Save. Then we'll move to the next section, mailing contact addresses. This section is optional, but you can go ahead and add any additional mailing or contact addresses that pertain to the practice location that's being added. Once you've completed each of the sections, then you can go ahead and click the back arrow in the blue header to return to the main navigation. So we've just completed the practice location information. You can see that the practice location that we just added is now in the grid for review, and it is pending change since it has not yet been approved and added to your enrollment record. We'll continue down to the next section within the left navigation to application fee. If an application fee is required for this change, you'll see additional questions to designate if you are going to mail a check to Team HP or if you've already paid Medicare or another state Medicaid agency. If those questions do not appear, then the application fee is not applicable for your situation. You can just save draft and continue on to the next section within the application. Once we have navigated to attachments, we can upload any additional attachments that support your request for change. If there are no attachments that need to be uploaded, you can continue on to the next section for agreements. For here, for the HHSC enrollment agreement, you'll click the ellipses and select your authorized signatory. This list of persons, since we are in an organization, will be from the drop-down for the designation of authorized signatories that we added previously in the ownership and controlling interest section. If the person you want to select is not available here, you'll need to go back to that page to make those edits. Since we've already provided an email address in the designation of authorized individuals section, that will pre-populate based off of the name of authorized signatory that was selected from the drop menu. Once you've confirmed that you have the correct authorized signatory selected, then you'll click Activate Agreement so that it will send an email notification for them to sign the agreement. Once that's been sent, you can see the status has been sent. It'll remain in that status until that authorized signatory has signed the agreement. Once that status updates to signed, you'll be able to see the Submit button enabled. Once the Submit button is enabled, you'll be able to click Submit to submit your request for your address change to Team HP for processing.